10 years ago, I was feeling lost in my own head. I was anxious and even simple things felt hard. So it was tough to focus. My thoughts were all over the place. And this mental state drained me most of the time. In the end, I was surviving, but not really living. And I knew that I wasn't alone. In one way or another, we all face our own mental and physical challenges, some louder, some quieter, but always present. Then, something unexpected changed my path forever. It all began with a single TED Talk led by neuroscientist and physician Dr. Alan Watkins, titled "How to Be Brilliant Every Single Day." With a live demonstration, he showed how just a few minutes of coherent breathing shifted heart rate variability, a marker that research links to lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, improved emotional regulation, and enhanced cognitive function. This was to validate the model he presented where performance, behavior, thoughts, actions, emotions are all impacted by our own physiology. First, let's quickly define physiology. It is the science of how our body's systems and chemical processes sustain life. And after researching the topic, what I've learned changed everything. Our physiology and psychology aren't separate worlds, but deeply interconnected parts of who we are. By changing one, we impact the other. Once we understand how these systems work together, we become better equipped to influence our mental well-being. Because research and real-world experiences suggest that certain practices can support physical shifts that positively impact how we feel, think, and act. This kind of internal physiological shift is believed to support mood, focus, and memory, which in turn can enhance how we respond to psychology-based practices like gratitude, positive self-talk, or meditation. In short, changing our physiology can create the conditions for mental tools to work deeper and faster. For example, many deep breathing methods are often associated with increased oxygenation and blood flow to the brain, which can enhance clearer thinking, better retention, and smoother integration of new ideas. So becoming our best selves stops being wishful thinking. It becomes a clear, achievable path, backed by a well-defined roadmap. One way to support how we feel and think is by taking care of our brain chemistry, especially our neurotransmitters. Think of them as our brain's messengers. These natural chemicals are involved in regulating our emotional well-being, our alertness, and how we respond to daily stress. So by optimizing these neurotransmitters through healthy protocols, we support our mental state, helping it improve over time instead of doing things that deplete it. And our generation is quite lucky, because with all the research and discoveries on how the body works and what impacts it, we can use that knowledge to come up with our own system that can help us feel and function better. And at the end of this video, I'll share a simple 20 minutes research-backed protocol that has helped enhance mental clarity for me and many others. But first, let's take a step back and explore some of the physiology behind happiness. We tend to believe that we get happy because of life events. But it's not necessarily the events themselves, it's how the brain responds to them that produces feelings like joy, excitement, or calm. What actually allows us to feel these emotions are the neurotransmitters released in various parts of the body at that moment. Each person's response to an event is unique, even at the chemical level. So while the events are the constant, the variable is the body's release of these chemicals. That's what creates the emotional experience. Any dysfunction in this process, and we wouldn't be able to feel as good even when placed in front of our pleasurable events. To illustrate this, let's take the case of depression, where research has shown that disruptions in brain chemistry can make even joyful moments feel emotionally flat. For example, a 2013 neuroimaging study found reduced activity in brain regions associated with reward, even during positive experiences. And like many other studies, this highlights how brain chemistry shapes what we feel in the moment. Now let's start with the first neurochemical, dopamine. Dopamine is closely linked to motivation, attention, focus, mood, and even creative thinking. Research suggests it plays a key role in drive and goal-directed behavior, making it essential for our sense of purpose and engagement with life. One powerful example of dopamine's role comes from a 2000s weight loss drug called rimonabant. The goal of the drug was to reduce pleasure in food by blocking a system linked to dopamine, but it ended up reducing pleasure in everything. Many users experienced severe depression and some reported suicidal thoughts, so the drug was eventually pulled from the market. And this was a wake-up call about dopamine's broader role in our mental health. Just like dopamine, serotonin plays a key role in our well-being. It helps regulate mood, improves sleep by increasing deep sleep, controls appetite to prevent binge eating, and supports digestion. In fact, around 95% of serotonin is produced in the gut, not the brain. So this might explain why more studies are linking a nutritious diet with better mental health. In sum, by supporting neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, we can start hacking our way to a better mood and sharper mind, with strategies rooted in real research. The long-term positive effects of exercise on the brain have been increasingly confirmed by science at this point. Dr. Sule Tinaz, a board-certified neurologist, has perfectly summed it up, stating this about exercise. And one key player behind these benefits is dopamine. Think of dopamine like motivation points in a brain bank. At first, you might spend 2 out of 3 units just to start moving. But after your workout, your brain releases dopamine. Your balance refills. Over time, you might only need 1 unit to get going and earn back 4 or 5. That's why it feels easier, clearer, and more energizing the more you do it. So next time you're struggling, remember when you go to work out, you're not losing energy, you're investing it, borrowing it for a richer future. Many people are drawn to fitness for physical results, and that's normal. But as we've seen, mental and physical are deeply connected, and the mental benefits often come faster and last longer. Because if you think about it, who doesn't want more motivation, focus, drive, better stress management? These benefits improve our perception of life and its challenges, which in the end is the true definition of enjoying life. Now, how does exercise help us improve mentally? One way is through changes in our frontal lobe, a region of the brain associated with key functions like emotional regulation, helping you manage stress more calmly, behavior control, encouraging more conscious rather than impulsive actions, and problem solving, promoting a shift from rumination to solution-oriented thinking. All of this might sound too good to be true, but this is one of the few examples of how, when we understand how the body works and how to influence it, what once felt like the holy grail of mental well-being starts to look more within reach. Let's take running as an example. This form of steady movement doesn't just release feel-good chemicals like endorphins and serotonin, it also boosts dopamine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine. These chemicals trigger the nervous system to change, adapt, and rewire itself, a built-in survival mechanism that activates as soon as you start moving. And improvements in your nervous system can genuinely transform your life, because it acts as a bridge between your inner world and the external one. When it's healthy, your brain interprets the world more clearly. It becomes easier to move out of survival mode into a state of clarity and calm. But what if movement isn't the only way to create that shift? What if your nervous system could also be supported through compounds found in nature? Practices like gratitude or meditation can affect our physiology, but relying only on mental effort can be tiring at first. And that's where herbs come in. Natural allies shown in emerging research to support our mood, focus, and well-being. So this is why some herbs are seen as biological shortcuts. And from my experience and what people often report, they can indeed support a noticeable shift in mindset. And this isn't new. People across cultures have used herbs for centuries to alter their consciousness and enhance mental states. Each tradition had its own trusted blends, and today, thanks to the internet, we have access to many of them. Over the years, I've tested countless herbs and combinations, guided by biochemistry, tradition, and real-world stories. After nearly a decade, I can finally share the ones that worked for me and for thousands of others. Another thing worth noting is I never used the same herb 2 days in a row. I rotated combinations from a pool of 4 to 5 herbs, which helped me feel consistent support over 3 months without building tolerance. Now let's dive into a powerful blend if used wisely. The first herb of this mix is raw cacao. It has been used for centuries, including by the Aztecs, in rituals and before battle or hunting, to elevate focus and awareness. Today, research shows cacao supports mood and energy, partly by influencing dopamine and serotonin. And two compounds may explain these effects. The first one is anandamide. This molecule is known as the bliss molecule and is part of the endocannabinoid system, the same system targeted by cannabis to influence mood and perception. The second compound is theobromine, a mild stimulant gentler than caffeine that has been studied for its potential role in supporting energy and alertness. And by the way, it's worth noting that cacao supports endorphin production both before and during physical activity, which for many may enhance the likelihood of experiencing a runner's high, that distinct sense of euphoria during exercise. Before moving on to the next herb, here are the dosages and how to best use cacao. Next is Mucuna pruriens, a key herb in Ayurvedic medicine. It has been traditionally used to support cognitive function, focus, and fertility. And an amazing feature of this herb is that it provides L-dopa, the compound the brain uses to produce dopamine. So Mucuna's dopamine support works well alongside cacao. Together, they create a natural synergy, and adding lemon balm further supports this effect. To understand its role in this mixture, we first need to know about an enzyme called monoamine oxidase A, also called MAOA. This enzyme acts like the brain's cleanup squad, breaking down dopamine and serotonin, and lemon balm may slow this process, helping your brain hold on to more of these feel-good chemicals a little longer. So, as you can see, by understanding the biochemical properties of herbs, we can thoughtfully combine them to facilitate the body's natural production of these feel-good chemicals. Through the years, especially on busy days, this protocol helped a lot in changing my mental state and physical shape. It's simple, quick, and efficient, with concrete science and experience behind it, and it's in 3 steps. The first one is taking a herbal combination with 2 or 3 synergistic herbs, like seen earlier. By affecting physiological systems associated with mood and energy, they can play an active role in preparing the body for movement. The second step is a 15-minute circuit workout that raises your heart rate and further supports the release of feel-good chemicals. The endorphin rush after the session can sometimes be mind-blowing. Studies shows this kind of training can increase your metabolic rate for hours after the session, which supports fat burning. It also improves circulation, helping the effects of herbs feel more noticeable. For example, and this is just from personal experience, certain herbs like Siberian ginseng or black maca reveal their distinct effects during or just after the workout. The third and final step is a 5-minute breathing session. Inhale and exhale in an even rhythm. And by keeping the count, your body naturally moves into relaxation. Closing your eyes reduces visual input, which automatically shifts part of your attention inward. With more awareness of your bodily sensations, the effects of the herbs and exercise combo can potentially be enhanced. Seen as a whole, these 3 layers work together in a powerful way, with each step enhancing the other. Their synergy helps activate your physiology and influence your mind state, including your thoughts, emotions, and how you feel in the moment. A natural high is about raising our baseline well-being. By understanding and using tools that can influence our physiology, we can encourage feel-good chemistry and promote balance in our nervous system. Over time, this internal shift can help make calm and clarity our natural daily state.